Hello, hello, my friends. I have another dedicated candle review for you today. We are going to be talking about Caramel Sunday's Banana Boat. Now, this particular fragrance is going to be available in this April restock, which is happening on this Saturday, April 19th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So this fragrance will be available in the 4-wick vessel that you see pictured in front of you here. This is 40 ounces of 100% soy wax. Caramel Sundays is a non-toxic home fragrance brand. They also offer some personal care, car diffusers, all kinds of stuff, but they're really kind of known for their candles. They do not use phthalates, parabens, VOCs. Clearly, you can see here very clean burning candles. So yeah, we will have it in this 4-wick 40-ounce vessel. The price tag on this specific size is $64.99. That does include the shipping on it. It will also be available in their 2-wick vessels, which retail for $31.99. And they will also have this fragrance available in the big Mama Jamma size, which is about 150 ounces of wax, almost 10 pounds of wax. It has an approximate burn time of 300 hours. And the retail price will be $174.99 on that candle. So let's go ahead and talk about this fragrance because I've got some thoughts on this one. All right, we have top notes of pineapple and lime, mid notes of banana and coconut, base notes of vanilla. Now, this candle that I am reviewing was likely poured in early March, mid-March 2025. I don't have the specific pour date, but I do know that Caramel Sundays does hand pour their candles a couple of weeks before they sell them for their restocks, and I did purchase this candle in the March 2025 restock. All right, so this fragrance is so interesting because when I initially got my nose on it on cold sniff, I detected definitely those top notes of pineapple and lime. More so, really, like I got a little bit of banana and coconut in there, but the pineapple really, really stood out to me. And to be honest with you guys, that threw me for a little bit of a loop because I kept hearing John and Sierra say on their Instagram stories that this smells a lot like the Banana Boat sunscreen, which I actually went into my local CVS and sniffed the Banana Boat sunscreen because I haven't used that sunscreen in a few years. I remember liking it. I mean, I've used it throughout my life, but I wanted like a scent memory refresh. I went in, sniffed it, and I was like, oh yeah, I do like the smell of this. So I can go ahead and safely purchase that candle. So when I got the fragrance in and I smelled predominantly pineapple, I don't want to say perplexed, but I was kind of like, that's interesting because if there is any type of fruity tropical fragrance notes that I don't always love, they can go very hit or miss for me. I would say it's pineapple. The other fragrance note that I would put in there would be mango. Mango can sometimes come across a little bit cat urine like for me. And pineapple can do that at times, not always, but pineapple can it just sometimes doesn't hit my nose right. Here's the thing, you guys, when this candle is lit, now where I'm at in this candle, I will tell you that the banana and coconut mid notes really shine, and that pineapple and lime takes a little bit of a back seat. Is it still noticeable? Yes, but I think that the pineapple and the lime actually give a little bit of like citrusy type of sweetness, like fruity sweetness, whereas the banana and the coconut in here are definitely based in a vanilla because they're more of those like creamy banana, creamy coconut, not a gourmand type of fragrance. Definitely more like what I would say like body care coconut or banana. It's not candied banana like Laffy Taffy. They don't smell overly artificial, which I personally really appreciate because I don't like really artificial banana fragrances. I don't want that. This candle, I'm going to be honest with you guys, is what I was hoping the last 2 years when I got burned, and I do mean that pun, pun intended there, when I got burned by Bath and Body Works Under the Sun. And I ended up returning that candle twice because I said when I burned it, something about it smelled off. And I'm so happy to report that this is what I was hoping that fragrance would be because I remembered smelling Under the Sun and thinking it smelled like Sunbum, which is my favorite sunscreen. It has that coconut banana type of fragrance. And that is what I smell in this candle. To me personally, you guys, I actually think that this fragrance smells a little bit more like Sunbum than it does Banana Boat, which ironically, I think on their marketing picture on the website, they have a bottle of Sunbum sunscreen pictured with this candle. The only thing that I would say maybe separates it a little bit is maybe that there's a hint of that. Like I said, the pineapple and the lime does come through a little bit. And I will tell you guys, first burn of this candle, I definitely detected more pineapple and lime. I can see why those are listed as the top notes, because when you first light this candle, those are the fragrance notes that you're going to pick up on at first. But once this candle gets burning for about an hour, those fragrance notes definitely take a back seat, and that creamy coconut banana note really starts to shine. And it's very, very well done. I really like this fragrance. I have actually been pairing this candle. Initially, I had it burning with their was it their banana cream pie fragrance, which I actually didn't get around to doing a dedicated review on because I burned it all the way through. So you'll see it in my empties at the end of this month. But the other fragrance that pairs really nicely with this is Kringle Candles Sea Breeze, which is kind of like a good like creamy coconut, but again, not gourmand type of scent. It's almost like fresh sea air coconut. This candle burns really, really nicely with a variety of fragrances. A little bit of a spoiler alert for my wish list video, which I'm actually planning to upload on Thursday of this week. I will make sure I give you guys my Caramel Sundays wish list. But one of the candles that is on my wish list is a fragrance that John and Sierra say pairs really well with this fragrance, and it would be Sublime Vanilla. Now, that candle they say is very lime forward, but they say that fragrance pairs beautifully with this Banana Boat. I do also have Yankee Candles Vanilla Lime in my collection, which I've loved that fragrance for years. So I feel like I've got a couple of candles in my collection, and again, spoiler alert, if I can get my hands on it, that Sublime Vanilla, I think will pair really, really nicely with this fragrance. As far as the performance is concerned, you can see nice, deep, clean wax pool, no issues with the burn whatsoever. This fragrance for me, I am going to tell you guys, strength and throw on it is about an 8 for me in my open concept. You can definitely smell it really well if you burn it in a more closed concept room. But even in my open concept, I do smell it quite well. Now, the thing that I will say is that the first burn was pretty strong for me, and I burned it for like 7 hours that day. Much like the Kringle wax formula, I will say Caramel Sundays, because it is also 100% soy wax, you can let these candles burn a little bit longer. If you want a candle that you don't really have to babysit, you're going to be fine with that. I do find that the wicks on these candles, not as much on the 4 wicks, but I do find on their 2 wick formula, I do usually like to trim their wicks about every 3 hours, just because they do develop a little bit of excess carbon at the ends. And so if you're trying to cut down on any kind of sooting, which, by the way, you guys, if you burn candles, there's going to be a tiny amount of soot. It doesn't matter how clean burning the candle is. There's always going to be a tiny amount of soot. But again, I've noticed on my soy wax candles that they release far less than some of the more traditional big box type of candles. Anyways, where I was going with that is that on the 2 wicks, I do like to trim the wicks about every 3 hours. And what I'll do is I'll dip them in the wax with my wick dipper, cut the wick, and then go ahead and relight it. And it performs beautifully for me. But strength and throw on this one is overall about an 8. I will say the second burn of this candle I didn't find to be as strong, but the third and fourth burns were back up to like that 8 in terms of strength and throw. So like I said, I think I'm going to put this candle away for a little bit. If I can get my hands on that Sublime Vanilla fragrance, I definitely plan to pair them. But if you have Kringle Candles Sea Breeze, this is going to be a wonderful complementary fragrance to that one as well. Overall, you guys, this candle does get 2 thumbs up from me. I personally, I'm just going to say, if it is within your budget, I would highly recommend purchasing it in this size vessel, only because I am going to say with banana and coconut scents, the type of banana and coconut here, because it is not overly artificial, I could see that maybe in the 2 wick, You might need a hurricane possibly to get some extra oomph out of the 2-wick. Whereas I feel from this 4-wick, there's enough of an opening here that you get a little bit more fragrance kicking out of it. Again, I haven't had it in the 2-wick, but I could see that again, with a base note of vanilla and the banana and the coconut, that I'm not gonna say it's guaranteed to be light. I'm just saying that like you might want to burn that in a hurricane if you're gonna get it in the 2-wick vessel. If you can swing it, this is probably the vessel size that I would recommend, because again, it's a great fragrance that'll probably last you quite some time throughout the summer. It blends well with a lot of other scents. Really, really great fragrance, and I have been loving it. So, like I said, this candle will be available this Saturday during the restock. Restock time is 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're watching this video any later than April 19th, I'm sorry if you didn't get your hands on it, but I would highly recommend adding this one to your wish list if you do like I said, kind of creamy banana coconut type of fragrances. It's not overly artificial. I am going to talk about in my Caramel Sundays wish list video, maybe like, I'll go into some greater details about how to get your hands on these candles, as well as maybe like what your expectations should be. Because I know that there's a lot of people who are maybe new to burning 100% soy wax. Maybe you're new to Caramel Sundays, as well as brands like Kringle. And I'm going to touch on that in that video. But maybe just about like what I would say maybe like what expectations, I don't want to say what expectations should be, because I'm not saying you should lower your expectations, not at all. These are great companies, and I have been spending my money with them, which I wouldn't be purchasing candles if I didn't believe that they were good quality and were giving me what I expected. I think that I just, there's some things that I do want to touch on, um, basically with the candle community. So anyways, you guys, this video is going a little bit longer. Let me know in the comment box down below if this is one of the fragrances that is on your wish list, or let me know if you happen to have purchased this in a 2-wick and you've started burning it. Maybe you guys can fill us in on how the performance is on those candles. But so far here in the 4-wick, like I said, if you can swing it, if it is part of if your budget can tolerate it, and if this is a fragrance that you think you would be very, very happy with, then I would say go for it. So, all right, you guys, please hit thumbs up if you found this video helpful. Consider subscribing to my channel if you are new. I will have one more dedicated Caramel Sundays review coming up for you guys later this week. I will make sure to get a review of Golden Hour out for all of you guys. I know that that's another popular fragrance that they have. That review I'm hoping to have out on Friday for all of you guys. So make sure you're subscribed to my channel if you want to see it. I do want to say thank you so very, very much for spending your time here with me today. And until my next one, I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day. Bye.